Well, afternoon recording, and it was a rough day. It's almost 5 o'clock right now, and it was a rough day up until half hour ago, I would say. And emotions are such funny things. I need to go reread my Tony Robbins stuff about emotions. He writes a lot of really interesting stuff in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, I believe is what it's called. He writes a lot of interesting stuff, but he talks about what emotions are and how you control them and all that. And man, they are, don't know a good term to describe them in a derogatory manner like I would like to, but they're not fun. So anyway, what can I report? Basically, I felt terrible today, and I will say that it was worth my time to just kind of embrace the suckiness. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to let it be you. You don't have to assume that it's going to last forever, but it's okay to be like, to admit to yourself that, wow, I feel bad right now. And I mean, I'm saying this from what I learned today and what I've learned in the past. Controlling negative feelings is not about denying them or trying to squash them. It's about accepting them, being okay with what is, and replacing them with positive feelings like gratitude and all those things. One other thing that I will mention is I have not been doing my morning stuff like my journal entries and my meditation. I have been exercising pretty well, so that's been good. My sleep's been a little off. My nutrition has not been great. So I do have a lot of potential reasons why I would not be feeling good. And also, it's okay to accept that too. You're not going to be perfect all the time. I'm not going to be perfect all the time, so I don't have to beat myself up because I didn't eat food perfectly or anything. But overall, I'm just a broken record when I say how grateful I am to be doing this, because when things get better, you haven't done anything to mess them up when you were feeling bad. And it makes a lot of sense to accept that you're going to feel bad sometimes and not sabotage the whole rest of your life. I will say one thing that came up in my mind a lot. I had read the book by Tim Ferriss, I think it was Tools of Titans, and he talks about depression, and he was suicidal at one point in his life. And he talks about the suicide hotline. And he says, if you are embarrassed or you don't know if you need it or whatever, he said, go ahead and just call and say that you're doing an experiment, or say that you just wanted to talk to somebody for a minute or something. And made me think about it a little bit, because not that I was suicidal today, but I was down enough and I was like, man, I would love to talk to somebody, and I almost did call them just to see if there was somebody to chat. Anyway, I had something planned for this video and I don't recall what it was at this particular moment in time. I definitely have learned that listening to the positive voice does not mean being overly excited and animated and smiling and happy all the time. It just means tuning into the positive feelings, positive thoughts, the positive whatever, and positive is what you make of it. But for me specifically, it's not dark and anxious and worried and depressed and pessimistic and all those kinds of things. It's very much more positive. So that is what I have to say about that, and I will do my later recordings another time. Okay, see ya.